Hi guys, welcome back to my Genshin Impact video. Now I'm gonna talk about the 5 stars bow tier list for Venti. There are only 6 5 stars bow in near time, 5 available at this moment, and 1 will be released on the next version of Genshin. Let's start with the S tier bow, which is good and usable whether you want to build Venti as a DPS or support character. The first bow, Elegy for the End. The bow has medium attack stats and nice amount of energy recharge substats. It is the best overall bow for Venti because it can be used for both DPS and support Venti. Remember that even as a DPS, you still need a little bit of energy recharge. And more elemental mastery gonna affect your damage indirectly. Unlike critical rate or damage, which can be said useless if their number is too small because they may not be triggered. The effect itself is also very useful. The attack boost always useful for your other DPS or if you build your Venti as DPS. And elemental mastery gonna make your support Venti better. Venti burst also lasts for quite a long time and he doesn't need to be there to trigger the effect. Definitely the best bow for Venti in my eyes. The next bow, Skyward Harp. This bow has the highest attack stats of all bows. I can say the best bow for DPS Venti because this bow gives you 2 important stats for DPS character, critical rate and critical damage. The critical rate is kinda small, only 22%, but again, you get critical damage boost which grow as you refine this bow. So if you're able to get more of this bow, that's really good investment. The usage is also pretty straightforward. The bow is gonna deal AoE physical damage every 4 seconds. This works well because Venti Elemental Burst gonna gather enemies close and the AoE physical gonna hit them all. However, this bow is not the best if you build support or swirl Venti because swirl cannot deal critical damage, which means you just waste 2 attributes of this bow. Those are the only S tier 5 stars bow for me. Now let's move to the A tier. Unfortunately, there is only one bow on A tier, Polar Star. It has medium attack stats, lower than Skyward Harp, but higher critical rate. The effects are also pretty good. Increased elemental skill and damage are always nice. The attack boost is also nice for both your skill and burst. This is definitely good for DPS Venti, but for support Venti, I can say it's better to start looking for 4 stars bow like Stringless if you don't have the S tier bow which was mentioned previously. Other 5 stars bows are simply not suited for Venti. That's why they are on B tier. The first bow, Amos Bow. This bow has medium attack stats but very high attack stats boost as its secondary stats. Attack stats is useless for support Venti, but even for DPS Venti, I still say this one is bad because the Amos bow is made for DPS characters who rely on their normal and charge attack, like Ganyu. So even when you make DPS Venti, this bow is still not good on him because his charge and normal attack are not his main strength. It is B tier and you are better to use 4 stars bow instead of this one. Thundering Pulse is another bow that's made for normal attack DPS. It is best weapon for child, but for Venti, this bow only has medium attack stats and very high critical damage, which is nice for DPS Venti, but the effect of this bow is really not suited for Venti's playstyle. You never want to do tons of normal attack using Venti, so it's wasted. The last bow is Aqua Simulacra. This bow is not released yet. It's meant to be used for upcoming characters, Yelan. This bow has low attack stats but very high critical damage, even higher than Thundering Pulse. The health boost is nice but not needed for Venti, because Venti usually on the field only to cast elemental skill or burst and then switch to another character, so he doesn't need survivability that much. The damage boost is nice because you don't need to be an active character to trigger the effect, but still, this boost doesn't affect swirl damage, so this bow is B tier for Venti. So the conclusion for Venti 5 stars bow tier list is there are only 2 good 5 stars bow for Venti. The S tier bow for support or swirl Venti is Elegy for the End. S tier for DPS is Skyward Harp and Elegy for the End. However, I can say that support Venti doesn't have a tier 5 stars bow. For DPS Venti, you can still use your Polar Star if you have it, but for support, it's better to use 4 stars bow if you don't have Skyward Harp or Elegy for the End. I will talk about 4 stars bow in the next video, so make sure you subscribe and ring the notification so you don't miss the new video. And please like the video if you find it useful. See you on the next video.